Okay, this is a video review of the RAB Ascent 700 sleeping bag. This is the new model for 2022. So I've taken a few notes. I'll try and make this review as succinct and informative as possible. Okay, so the bag contains 700 grams of 650 fill power hydrophobic duck down. The fill power rating is basically it's a rating which determines the quality of the down used. So the higher the fill power, the better the quality of down in the bag. And the hydrophobic duck down is basically treated so that it reduces the amount of moisture that the down can absorb. So it's basically a waterproofing on the down. And the bag is made of Pertex Quantum, which is a breathable material, and it is coated with a durable water resistance. So that's supposed to help water bead and roll off the bag when you get any moisture on the bag as well. Okay, so the bag itself is, the RAB stuff's is really good quality. It's very well made. It fluffs up really well, so it's, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but it puffs up really well, so it fills out and takes a nice, a nice full shape once it's all fluffed up. You've got a nice hood there, and it's also, for 2022, the differences that I noticed between last year's model and the new model, because they had last year's model on display, one of the best things that I noticed was I've got a new type of zip on this, so it's no longer just a standard zip. It's got this plastic anti-snag covering on it, and when you unzip it and zip it up, it works really well. And also it no longer has the little bit of velcro here that you use to kind of secure it and try and keep the sleeping bag from opening when you're in it. My previous sleeping bag had a wee velcro attachment to try and keep it shut, and it always came away. I don't think that they're particularly good, whereas this one here, when you zip it right up and you try and, I've tested it and tried to pull it and see if it would come undone, it seems to stay zipped up really well. So I think this new zip, that kind of function that they've introduced for 2022 is actually a really useful and beneficial innovation. So if you get the chance, if you get into a shop, check that and make sure you get the new version. The RAB writing is on the right hand side on the 2022 model, whereas the 2021 model, the RAB writing is on the centre of the bag. So I mean, it's got a great zip, and that's obviously quite an important feature on something like this. Okay, a wee bit more information that might be useful. The shape of the bag is a wide mummy shape, so it's fairly easy to get in and out, I would say, for anyone of a moderate build. I am 5'11", so I'm just under 6 foot, and I would say that I've got a kind of average build, and I could get in and out of it no problem. Had a decent amount of space for moving about in it, just like turning on my sides or turning back onto my back. It felt comfortable, it didn't feel too big, it actually felt like a really good size. Some more information here. So RAB are saying that there is a sleep limit in terms of the outside temperatures. So there's a sleep limit of up to -9 degrees Celsius or 17 degrees Fahrenheit. I would expect that you would be pretty cold in those type of temperatures, whereas for comfort they are recommending that you use it down to -2. I'm intending using this sleeping bag in the spring, summer and autumn. I think in the winter you would need probably another throw to put over the top of it to keep you cold in winter conditions. On the RAB website, they recommend that you can use this sleeping bag in cold conditions, but they don't use the word winter in the description. Whereas for the 1100 gram bag, they say that you can use it in cold and winter conditions. So it's not really a winter bag, it's a 3-season bag. I mean, I thought about going for a heavier one, but I think if you go for a heavier one, the problem is that it's going to be too warm in the summer. And the summer is when most people do most of their camping. So I think the 700 is probably, if you're only going to have one bag, I would say the 700 or the 900 gram one is probably the ideal one to go for. Okay, so it's got a neck collar on the inside, which I'll demonstrate in a minute, which is really good. Left and right hand bags, so you've got the zip is either on the left or the right hand side. This is a left hand one. Left and right hand bags can zip together to make up a double bag. You get a large cotton sack to store it in at home. It's got a waterproof base. You don't really need to compress it too much to get it in that one. It's quite a big bag. And you also get a smaller stuff sack if you wanted to really compress it and take it with you if you were hiking or camping. Okay, so I've kind of already explained the anti-snag zip, so that's all the information. I mean, that's all the kind of pertinent information I felt that you really needed, having looked at the RAB website and watched a couple of their videos. So I think that's the sort of relevant information that most people would really need to know about when it comes to buying a sleeping bag. Okay, so I'll just show a couple other things about it. So it also has an anti-snag bit at the bottom of the zip here on the inside. This bit here to begin with, this stops you from unzipping it all the way down. You must be able to go inside that and unzip it right to the bottom, or bring the bottom zip up. I've got no intention of doing that, but it's got a wee bit there that just, I think that just helps to stop you from unzipping it all the way, because you might want to get out of it in the middle of the night without actually unzipping it fully, and then it can be difficult to get the zips in to start zipping it back up again. So that, I thought that was quite a good feature, that as well. The neck collar, which is this bit here on the inside, they call it a 3D neck collar, 3-dimensional neck collar, but this is great as well. I'll zip it back up. The zip's dead smooth as well. I did compare this to the OEX Leviathan 600 bag, and the zip on the RAB one was smoother, and that's again a really important feature. So you've got the inside, you've got this neck collar here, and it's got its own pull cord here, so you can pull the neck collar tight, you know, if you're cold and you're wanting to trap heat, and you can tighten that right around you, which I think is a great feature. And you can see it's down-filled itself, the neck collar, so that's going to be good to help you trap the heat if you need it. And then the actual hood of the bag has got its own pull cord as well, so if you want to just get it right around your head and stay inside it, you've got a separate pull cord for the hood as well. Apologies for the drilling upstairs, I think the guy just does this to annoy me. Okay, the video's almost done anyway, so it fluffs up really well, it's a good size, and it also folds down really well, so you can start folding it down and you can just squeeze the air out of it, and it compresses down very well as well, so it's easy to fold down, get it into a smaller size, get it into your stuff sack. It's also quite light. I mean, I've not got a lot of experience with camping equipment and high quality sleeping bags. I mean, you can see how much it's compressed down there. You know, it's gone really flat. And then again, as I said before, you just give it a good shake and the down inside fluffs up. It puffs up again pretty quickly. So I've got to say that I've not actually been camping in it yet, but having tested it in the house, I found it light, comfortable. It didn't feel like it was going to make you particularly sweaty when you were in it. My previous one was just a cheaper nylon sleeping bag that I've used last year. So this is my first better quality down sleeping bag, and it felt comfortable, and it did. I don't know if I'm just, it's just like a bit of a psychological trick where you're just convincing yourself because you've bought it, but it did feel, when I was in it, it felt more breathable. It didn't feel like it was going to be sweaty. So I'm quite happy with it. Going to get away this weekend and test it out, but hopefully that provides some information for people that might find it useful if they're considering buying one. One final thing that I would say is, if you're comparing it with other sleeping bags, I think the pertinent information to bear in mind is how many grams of down are in the bag. So you've got 700 grams of down in this one, and also the fill power rating. The higher the fill power rating, basically the better quality the packing of the down is.